Well, hello guys. Yeah, I look like shit right now, but yeah, if I keep putting this video off, it'll be another fucking week before I put another video up. So here it is in all its glory. It's kind of like a double entendre. I wanted to talk about President Trump, and I also wanted to talk about the weight loss. Um, and it's not for views. It literally isn't. Just a little update, so people say I haven't completely given up because I talked about going to the gym and strengthening my back up, but I figure I'd give you guys some progress. And I've gotten back to a mile. And my eating's not been the best, but I've lost 20 pounds. And I'm hoping I will continue to do well. I know I said I wouldn't do the scale, but I did the scale a little bit. And I'm going to try to avoid it going forward. But, the progress is slower than I'd like it to be, but forward progress is better than no progress. So that's the weight loss update. So people know, like, well, he isn't fat as fuck and just, scarfing down pizza left and right. So I'm going to do a little bit of walk, talk, going to do like an old time, like, walking vlog, and hopefully you guys enjoy it. I'll see you guys in a bit. Yeah, so, I'm still fucking fat shit. I'm out of shape. So, walking over here, this is the half-mile point in my walk. This is the half of a half-mile point. So I walk this and walk back. That's half mile. But we're going to try to do a full mile today, which, if you look up the road there, about where that white sign is the half-mile mark. Totally. So if I make it to the sign and walk back, that's a full mile. But instead of sitting out here and freebasing ideas about my opinions on Trump presidency, I figured I'll go do my walk, show me touching the Quiet Avenue sign, walk back, and get this part out of the way, and then maybe throw like some Battlefield gameplay or something over and get my actual opinion of Trump. I know that's kind of cliche. I know a lot of people don't really care about that kind of stuff, but the video is going to be more centered around what I think about President Trump and my opinions on it. And I'm a little bit long-winded about it, and I'd much rather do it in a better form than standing out here on the side of the road with cars whizzing by and the wind blowing up. There it is. So I'm not touching it, mainly because it's really overgrown right now. Hey, look, it's the Skyrim remaster. And there's Battlefield 1. Dumb shit. Well, okay, how you guys doing? We're back. Here's the gameplay portion of it. We're going to talk about Donald Trump now. Yeah. For anybody that knows me or has been to my live streams, I talk a great deal about Trump in my live streams themselves. And before the election, I gave Hillary Clinton a 5 million vote win. I was wrong, obviously. And the reason I pulled that number 5 million out of my ass, because I expected Hillary Clinton to beat Donald Trump by the same margin that that Obama beat Mitt Romney. At least that. At least that. Nobody in the world seen this coming. 538 had Hillary winning by a large margin. A couple of the other big political sites had, Hillary Clinton winning by a large margin. And it was a shock to almost everybody. I remember tuning in on election night, and I watched the Young Turks cover the election, and I started to feel the dread with them as she started losing state by state by state, and states that should have been blowouts were close races, and it's like, oh my lord, how can we do this as a country? And I kind of wanted to do this video closer to when it happened, but my sleep schedule has been really messed up, and when I'm on a bad sleep schedule, my motivation goes out the window as well. But I'm kind of glad that I waited a little bit, because you got to see a little bit more of what a Trump presidency is going to look like. And regardless, it's not going to be a good thing. as many people want to say, like, oh, just wait and see, just wait and see. You know, look at the Hillary protesters. Come on, dudes. You act like the Trump protesters weren't trying to party like it's 1776 if Trump was gonna lose this rigged election. I'm using air quotations here. I'm really scared of a President Trump. I am. Like, I actually got sick to my stomach when I realized he was going to be the next president. As a big dude and as a guy that is going to have health problems in my foreseeable future, and as a guy that probably won't have any kind of retirement whatsoever, it's scary to think about what's going to happen to this country and the things that are going to change under a Trump administration, or hell, an administration that's 100% Republican run. Because I even made a wager. I made a wager with a guy I used to work with that Hillary's going to win, and I lost $50 on the wager itself. But it's scary, and here's a couple of things I'm worried about. Like, the idea of single-payer health care died when Hillary Clinton lost. I understand Hillary Clinton wasn't running on a single-payer healthcare platform, but the idea pretty much died. There's 4 years of legislation that can pass almost unchecked that will block any kind of single-payer healthcare ever. And like, I've already seen Paul Ryan talk about it, how he wants to do Medicare reform and put senior citizens on a premium-to-pay program where they give them money to go against a premium insurance plan instead of getting Medicare, which is a single-payer system that most people are very happy with. And these are just some of the changes that I expect to see when Donald Trump's White House starts taking full effect. I mean, he named his chief strategist was Steve Bannon. Come on, dude, the guy's a white supremacist. Like, he literally is. He's the type of guy that started that all lives matter bullshit because he's so thick in the head that he doesn't understand the concept of Black Lives Matter, which I'm not going to get into that in this video right here because it's about Donald Trump. But like, you're going to see things like that, and you're going to see a lot of hatred and bigotry come in all over, and it's already started. I understand Donald Trump will take over till January 20th, but like, you've seen like the Prime Minister of Education in Israel talk about a Trump victory is going to end the Palestinian state. And I'm afraid of that. I literally am. I know I shouldn't be concerned about it because I'm a fat white male that lives in the United States that isn't Jewish and isn't Palestinian. But I'm one of those people that believes that you as a human being deserve the right not to be genocided because of disagreements with somebody else, because somebody else has a bigger brother. And Israel is that. Israel is a $4.3 billion welfare case that the United States continues to feed because Jesus. That's it. Because Jesus. And a Trump administration will very easily turn a blind eye on it because people want Israel to be successful because Jesus. Period. I mean, like, I understand there's other qualms there, like, you know, them being our allies and things of that nature. But, like, what does Israel give to us? Like, literally, it gives us a port in the Middle East, maybe? Is that about it? I don't know. I'm terrified of a Trump presidency. Terrified. Even if Trump wasn't to pass laws that prohibited, you know, gay marriage or, you know, transsexuals or what bathroom transsexuals would use, there's going to be an empowering of people that are going to look at this and feel like it's going to be okay because we're in charge now. You're going to look at it. It's going to look that way. You already see it happening. You see Make America Great Again with like swastikas being painted on like high school bathroom walls. You see like black dolls being hung in elevators of like high schools. You see racist slurs pushed out. You see xenophobic slurs pushed out against the Muslim race. And it's, well, their culture, not a race. But, you know, spicy. I just have no faith in a Trump White House. I don't. I think it's going to be a long 4 years. And I think I'm verbally that I'm not for Republicans and whatsoever. I don't believe in the Republican means. I don't believe in conservative viewpoints. And it's not because I haven't heard conservative viewpoints. I was a Republican until I was about 25. I just changed as a person. When I got older, and as I got older, I started to see people for what they were as individuals, and didn't look at people as much as scapegoats. And I feel like a lot of the doctrine is finger pointing. I'm sure a lot of people disagree with me this, and I'm sure I'll get flack for it in the comment section below. And somebody will want to debate me, but a Trump White House scares me because a lot of you guys were very young when Bush was in the White House, and a lot of you guys probably don't remember. Most of you guys are early 20s and so like that. So it's 8 years ago. So you were like 13 or 14. You probably didn't really care or pay attention too much. But I was a grown man when Bush was in the White House, and I remember the 2008 housing bubble burst, and I remember watching grown men cry, and I remember all the little things that they would try to do to try to revigorate the economy, like giving everybody $300 and giving other people and giving bailouts to like corporations that were too big to fail, and then starting a war in Iraq, and then building a border wall, because Trump's wall isn't the first time they've talked about building a border wall, because for some reason they feel like all the problems in the world revolve around the 10 million Mexican people that live in this country that are undocumented. They feel like that is the reason everything else is, not peachy keen. And by the way, where the fuck does this plane go? Look, he just disappears. Like, I hate that. I hate that when you're dogfighting. But regardless, back to the topic. The wall won't work. And when they cut taxes, and they're going to cut taxes at least a little bit, they're going to go ahead and it's going to go ahead and create a strain on the system that already is strained. For example, I think Trump's tax plan was something like 21%. I'm pulling a number out my ass or something like this. But he wanted to cut taxes to 21% or 28.8% now. But these are fabricated numbers. These are PKA facts. But if you did that, what you would end up doing is take schools that are already having trouble meeting budget and make them have to do more fundraisers to stay afloat. If they can even stay afloat. What you might end up doing is taking some of our public schools and turning them into private schools. And, a lot of people believe that, private industry is very good for, citizens as a whole because it strives people to be competitive. But the whole idea of public schools is so that everybody has an even playing field. And if you have people going to private schools, now you create another system of have and have-nots, and it's another system that benefits more people that were born with money or in a field that pays more money than other fields. I don't know. I'll give a more in-depth video on it about it, but I'm unhappy that Trump's going to be president, and I'm unhappy that we're going to spend another 4 years living with a Republican-controlled Senate, House, Supreme Court, and Congress. It is going to be a terrible, terrible, terrible time in America, and it wouldn't surprise me if it ends up putting us into another recession. But, I just do politics on the side. Don't take anything I say as fact or anything like that. But yeah, I'm scared of a President Trump. I literally am. Mainly because he doesn't know what he's doing, and the people that are going to be running this country are going to be Mitch McConnell, Ron Paul, and whoever the advisors that he picks to be in his cabinet.